Hey, hello MIS 102 students and welcome to week 6. Hey, from here on out, we're going to be on a normal schedule, just like you see in your modules in Canvas. Week 6 is going to be open on April 13th, close on the 19th. Week 7 open on the 20th, close on the 26th. You won't actually see week 7 populate until the 20th, so just keep that in mind. And then finally, week 8 is April 27th and will close on May 6th. As a reminder, your final MIS research paper topics were due for approval April 12th. Some have yet to send me their topics. Please, please, please email me the topic that you want to write your paper on for approval. This is required. If you look at the requirements of the paper, you need to email it for approval. As of now, some points will be deducted for it being late. More points will be deducted if you don't send me a topic for approval beforehand. I know with coronavirus things are new and different, but we still have a set class schedule and we still have milestones that we're required to meet. Up until this point, I've been more lenient than some other professors at St. Francis, so please let's make sure we're still keeping on track with everything. Some of you may be using a free PDF version of the book through VitalSource. I sent an email out a while ago. VitalSource, for instructors, professors, they are a repository of different books that we can use from various publishers. Out of the goodness of their heart, due to COVID-19, they've opened up their library for free for students to get copies of the book in case they left it on campus or whatever reason. If you are using VitalSource, please, please, please verify you're using version 10e. This is one required in the syllabus. They have many versions on the site. You can get 9, you can get 11. 11 is the newest, but we are using 10e for this class. If you're using any other version and for some reason you cannot get a hold of 10e, you need to let me know. Obviously, this will affect your grading because the questions are not the same. Some of the topics don't match up between different versions. And finally, I wanted to take a minute and talk a little bit about some practical applications of MIS. Management information systems is not just record keeping and spreadsheets. And honestly, some chapters in our book make this seem like a dry and tedious science. But in reality, it's a world of connected systems and applications. And to give a practical application for this, over the past couple weeks, I've been using my 3D printer to make face shields for our local hospital. These are open source designs that we could find online. You can download them. There's many sites that have 3D models that you can download specifically for printing. And all it is, it's a 3D printed top, a bottom, and then some clear plastic shielding. You could source these through many different ways. The parts that we're making, like I said, they're small. It's just a little top. This is made out of a material called ABS, and there's a matching bottom that helps keep the shield in its curved function. This is interesting that we're doing this now because we see that there is strain on the supply system. Ideally, this mask would be held together by something called buttonhole elastic. Ideally, it's a 1/4 inch with little slits in it, and it connects onto these little nubs on either side. Because of the high demand, it's difficult to get buttonhole elastic, and because of the high demand in general, that's why people are making these masks right now. Compared to 7 or 8 months ago, your average individual is buying PPE, personal protective equipment, that they wouldn't have been buying before. You know, last summer you wouldn't need a face shield, you wouldn't need a mask, you wouldn't need gloves. Now these are being highly suggested that we wear when we go out day to day. Because of that extra demand on the supply system, it's difficult for hospitals and caregivers to get the equipment they need. Just today, I dropped off 17 masks, very similar to this, to the hospital, and honestly, I was a little overwhelmed with how thankful they were. They're reusing equipment, reusing PPE that was never designed to be reused, so I can get them a very cheap, almost disposable source for them that they can keep, and they can ensure that our doctors and nurses and caregivers are being safe, because if they're not being safe, they can't properly care for us. And it's interesting to see your average individual starting to use communication systems, starting to use databases that normally they wouldn't be, to produce these masks. And it's not just people with 3D printers. We're seeing a lot of pop-up social media groups where you're having people with 3D printers link up with people who just want to donate money, who donate supplies to keep their printers running. And then they're linking up with people who don't have 3D printers who are willing to drive around and drop these masks off. I read an article, I think it was in Los Angeles, where essential workers, people who are allowed to go out and drive around, they're volunteering their time to stop by houses of people with 3D printers to pick up masks, deliver them to the hospitals, EMTs, and on their way home, they'll stop at other people's houses, picking up donations or picking up, maybe they ordered filament or parts off Amazon and delivering those to the individuals with the 3D printer. So we're seeing a lot of very interesting MIS systems, social media systems, websites, chat groups being utilized to help get equipment like this into the hands of people that need it most. So, yeah, I really challenge you to look in your local communities and try to find these people. Like that, like Mr. Rogers would always say, try to find the helpers. There always are people in your community you're trying to help and share their times and talents. So find these people, find these communities, and if you can, see what you could do to help out. Maybe you have a 3D printer. Great. Put it to work, make some masks. If you don't have a 3D printer, maybe you can donate some of your time or some of your money to help deliver them. Maybe you sew. Maybe you can make some, cloth face masks for individuals. These are new and interesting times that we have to deal with, and it's something that we're going to have to get through together. But the amazing thing for our class, there's a lot of practical applications that we've been learning through just modules 1 through 5 that you can apply to help make this an easier and quicker ordeal for everybody. So keep on working, guys. Keep knocking out week 6. Week 7 will open on the 20th, and we'll keep going from there. Keep up the good work. Thank you.